Join Dalton and Jacob as they discuss the ever-changing world of trading card games. TCG Buzz starts now.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Dalton, back at it again and again and again. Whew. With Jacob. He's over there.
Live stream number 2, right? Back to back. We had enough time to reset the set, and Dalton got to run out to the vending machine, grab a water, and that's it. We're going again, man, like this.
My mama said H2O is from God.
Nice reference. If you don't know what we're talking about, we're doing a 3 live stream marathon back to back to back, and this is number 2. So if you missed number 1, go watch it. It was on the 2 Ultimate boosters, Miko and Mel, and Superheroes War Omega, I think the symbol is.
Like that, yeah. That seems about right. But we got to talk about this WTF thing that just came out, man. Like, seriously, what the flippity flapjacks are we talking about here, man? Lost World. I'm lost.
You're lost?
I'm at a loss.
You're at a loss?
I'm at a loss.
I'm at a loss.
You know, I thought I was going to be found, but instead I was lost even more.
And real quick, before we really get into the discussion, just want to thank you guys who are joining us live in chat. You're the real MVPs. You know, you're not lost. You're exactly where you need to be.
I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
I can't even.
Did I break you?
Where was I going with this? Cards, I guess. I'm so lost by that. I'm sorry. Lost World. Let's talk about.
All right, we're getting back on track. Good,
Oh,
good.
jeez, I was so thrown back by that. So you can't choose it as your actual flag. Good reasons, right? Good reasons. You can only have 2 copies of it in your deck, which is interesting because they didn't do that with a dry.
I've got thoughts on that, but I'll wait till we, have the context of what it do.
You may use Lost World cards. This card gets all the abilities of the flag that you choose for Lost Nanafi? Lost Nanafi? However you say the. What? It's too far? It's too far for you? Is this far enough?
They want to hear your voice, man. I don't know why. They're weirdos.
Lost Nafi? Is that how you say it? Basically, at the end of your opponent's turn, choose your flag and you pay 2 gauge. If you do, put this card from your hand on the top of your chosen flag and remove all of your deck from the fight. Shuffle the lost deck and replace it. You may only use this effect once per fight. Wait. Hold on. You can only run 2. You can only do it once per fight. Seems fairly balanced. But also, it states that you can only do it at the end of your opponent's turn. So technically, I can still do shenanigans.
Okay, so the question when we first got the very first card revealed, and the very snippets of info, like, what, a month ago?
Something like that.
Was, is this an extra deck?
Yeah, that was the first thing.
I mean, literally, it is an extra deck.
It's an extra deck.
But it's not necessarily an extra deck in the way that people meant it, as it appears in other card games. This ain't Yu-Gi-Oh! What? I'm sorry.
100 card deck, right? With Lost World.
Get the hell out of here. Yeah, so it's a 30 card extra deck basically.
Mhm.
But you have to you can only access it by drawing into the flag.
Which is fair.
So you get 2 copies of the flag, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which, let's be pretty clear here. I don't see any reason in a competitive sense for anyone to not run this.
You got that 2 extra slots in your deck. Boom. Lost World. Very simple. Very simple.
So that means that next tournament season, because I can't use it when we go to Chicago. Bushi. Anyways, next season after that, I'm going to run 2 copies of it, and every single game I play, they're going to be in my starting gauge.
Knowing your luck, yeah. Well,
Well,
trying to think of decks that can bring cards back from the drop that's generic enough. Yeah, I think you're out of luck there.
yeah, and okay, so here's the question. Along with these cards, we've seen one, I think so far, card that's meant to support Lost World that's outside of Lost World, a Dragon World card.
Have we?
Yeah, it's a Dimension Dragon.
Yeah,
We've seen one of that.
I've seen that, yeah.
I'm worried because it would be really cool since, every world and every flag probably. I don't know. Oh. Some of these special flags won't have access to it, will they?
Let me pull it back up again.
How does that work? I know there was a bunch of rulings.
You can put in decks in all flags. And
Okay.
It doesn't specify world.
All right, good. So the thing is, it's balanced in a way, right? But it is essentially a luck thing, right? Because you have to draw into it, and if your opponent doesn't draw into theirs, then they're not at the same level you are. Because let's be clear, like some of the cards in it are crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna swing with 8 crit.
Free 8 crit.
It's gonna do you 10 damage. Damn, a final phase.
I'm just gonna gain 10 life or set your life to 10.
Oof. It was fun, Dre. It was fun.
Let's not forget the other one. What was it? The counter your opponent discards 2 cards. Is it a counter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
All I'm saying is,
That's
God
free.
Punk Lost deck is going to be a thing, man.
Didn't even think of that. God.
Really? Oh, I'm so happy about that one card. That's all I care about, really. Like,
All I'm thinking is Thunder Empire Fang. You get into Lost World. Hopefully, you have the 20 damage impact in hand. You swing a bunch with all of your new fancy cards from Lost World. Then you're like, I'll do you 10 damage for free. I'll pay the rest of my gauge then to deal you 20.
also, I don't remember who said it in chat. I apologize. It was while we were setting up, and I don't feel like scrolling all the way up to see it. But someone mentioned that Lost World is the ultimate anti-deck out card. You're playing Executioners. You're down to like 2 cards in your deck. You just whip out your Lost World. And now you got a 30-card deck again.
I guess you can look at it like that, but I don't see it as the whole decking out saving thing. I see it as, all right, my deck's combos aren't working against you. Let's go into deck that just does damage.
Super Saiyan A said that my goal by mixing God Punks and Lost World is to steal all my opponent's things and then make them cry. No, I want to make them quit card games.
Hey, Jacob,
Yeah.
I'll beat you with water.
He'll beat me with... Uh-oh.
But yeah, a lot of crazy things. But I gotta mention one thing. When a lot of cards came out on Buddy Spoiler, there was one card in particular that just took the shine away just for Jacob. And it's not even a Lost World card.
Oh, yeah. So we got the Korokoro leak, and I got the pictures first, and then everything started spreading out to all the resources like Buddy Spoiler and whatnot. And Dalton, I'm like, Dalton, there are Lost World cards, but more importantly, Shadow Dragon support. Single Shadow Dragon support card, and it's exactly what I asked Bushiroad for, so mwah.
And it got us thinking. Should we try to say more things that we want into this game? Because obviously somebody's paying attention to us from Bushi.
Yeah, we've joked around for at least the past year that Bushiroad watches our videos.
Right.
Because we've predicted a lot of things from them before. I basically predicted exactly how Black Dragons would play after they got their second retrain.
Mm-hmm.
We predicted the ban card list and how it would work, irregular list. And those are 2 of like 12 examples.
And I'm almost 100% sure you said it, at least on channel, that you needed a searcher for your item for Shadow Dragons. But if you didn't, that'd be even creepier, because that means
They were always watching. No, I'm sure I did at some point say it on cam.
yeah, probably. Somebody will let us know if you did or didn't. Or Bushi. But a lot of free cards in Lost World. You know, a lot of free ones. No, you can't. So many free. I think there might be like 3 in total cards that actually have a cost on them. I could be completely wrong. I'm just guesstimating right here. Because what I think the boss monster. No, he's free. Never mind. I know one of the impacts is the fancier one. Yeah, the 10 damage one is 3 gauge. None of the items cost anything. I think there's 2 monsters for sure. I don't think a spell has a cost on it.
In before Dragonic Exchange and the new Electro Deity clone of it are the most important cards in Buddy Fight now, because you can get your Lost World out of Gauge.
So, Jacob, are you telling me Dragonic Exchange is making its way into your Shadow Dragons?
Who knows, man? They do gain Gauge like crazy sometimes. I guess the big point for me about this, we can gush over specific cards as for hours. I mean, we did it. We were on a trip out of town, staying at a hotel for some work stuff to make our live streams and stuff even better for you guys.
As long as the programming is working.
And we had
right?
terrible, as long as their stuff works. We had terrible Wi-Fi. It was really bad, and I'm sitting here desperately trying to get cards to load, and like every 5 minutes, it's like, oh, Dalton, look at this new card.
Yep, that sounds about right.
But the point is, I like to look at big picture. So what does this do big picture? 1, this is going to be a good thing for rogue decks.
Oh, it basically turns the meta into every deck is meta. Because everyone's eventually going to go into Lost World. If they don't, that means they either had all their Lost Worlds in their gauge or they know their deck's good enough without it. But that can throw Shadow Dragons into being a semi-decent tier 2 deck just because you teched in Lost World into it. That can make art.
It's going to make... No,
Sorry.
that's going too
I'm
far.
sorry.
It's going to make decks with decent draw power really good. Also, there's going to be at some point in a competitive scene where an opponent has 2 cards in hand and one of them is their Lost World and they're waiting to play it, right? And the opponent uses a Godpunk card to force them to discard 2 and they cry.
I had something and I lost it.
How do you feel about the randomness?
Well, if dry players aren't going to have too much of a problem with this, since
Everyone's yelling at you because you keep moving away from your mic.
Dry players aren't going to have too much of a problem with this because everything's going to come easy to them. They're used to having a very limited amount of their card to get into the next flag. But, Lost World's a little different and all that good stuff. I hope this is loud enough for everybody. I'm sorry.
Dalton moves around a lot when we're recording. Like me,
I'm
like...
when I talk with my hands sometimes. I move. We'll get better mics. We'll just throw a mic like right here. So like
we're going to super glue it to his beard. Super glue the mic to his beard, man.
Shave it off. But, oh no, now I got into the high like loudly speaking voice. Oh, that was bad. Now I forgot what the question was. What was the question?
The randomness, the luck element to Lost World, is that a good thing for Buddy Fight or a bad thing?
Oh, so you mean every trading card game ever made that's always been based around luck? You're asking me if the luck-based thing's gonna be okay?
Right. I actually kind of feel like Buddy Fight, because of Advantage getting so much easier to get over the past couple years, it's gotten to be really, really consistent of a game.
Oh, I remember now what I was going to talk about with Advantage. Astro Dragons. Because they could basically draw 25 cards.
Please no. Please no.
Yes, perfect scenario. Turn 1, you can practically gain 25 cards, engage in hand. It's stupid. They'll have no troubles getting into Lost World. You having fun with that, Jacob?
I don't like that.
Where was I going to go?
All right, so here's the thing. I feel Buddy Fight got too consistent, and this is their way to bring more luck back into the fold.
I also think because this is their second card, that's going to be a flag in a deck, in a sense, because you can't really count Ultimate Chaos, because Infinite Chaos, not Ultimate Chaos.
What about Dry?
Yeah, but Dry, since you can have 4 copies, and it's kind of like a niche thing, because you don't really want to run 4 Dries. Like, 3's the beautiful number.
Yeah, you're on Dry.
Get away with
Dries, man.
Dry Dries, that's right. You can run 2. That's where I feel like you should be running it, but obviously one of our friends has troubles with lower numbers with their Dry and getting into it, which makes sense. But I think this is really going to keep it not overwhelming, because then you're going to have decks that are already meta not run it because they're like, well, there's no point of running it if I only have 2 copies of it. Sure, I could potentially get into it, but I don't want to risk that. But then you have other decks that are better with ramping and so forth that can get into it a lot faster and so forth. Play it. Like water. We can gauge ramp for days. We can search through our deck like every so often, maybe like, oh, look, I still have a copy. That's a good sign. Hopefully I'll get into that next turn. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Constructs, we can unfreezing. Perfect card for constructing, check top 3. Oh, look, Lost World. Add that to hand. There's a lot of things that are going to help out. Going to help out a lot of decks, and I feel like it's the right balance to have 2. If you have too many, then it's going to be stupid.
Also, Ranma. Can we talk about Ranma for a minute?
Ranma. He got bolted.
Someone in our Discord chat, and I wish I could quote you who you were, but I'm lazy.
If you're watching, let us know.
Said that he went from being Robin to Bane in like a week.
I don't see it. Mm-mm.
You know what I want most still? Like, I think we've got enough cards to be like, we know how Lost World works pretty much in its entirety, right? I want lore behind them. That's what I want most right now. I want to know, where they come from. They're called, dimensional dragons. How does that play in,
Well, they're also called Lost Vaders.
Yeah.
All the monsters are Lost Vaders.
I remember a Vader in Buddy Fight before.
Well, that's father, right? In not Dutch. Is that German? Sorry, I'm looking really into this because Darth Vader, if you translate in 2 words in their languages, is father, father. Did you know that?
No.
Now you know.
Yeah. Do you agree to the fact that Ranma's change to be evil was rushed?
No, I don't think so.
Also, they way too heavily foreshadowed it. It was not a surprise to anyone.
Yes, but who was everyone comparing it to initially? Because nobody was comparing it to Bolt. Because who was the other villain they were comparing it to? Was it? It wasn't Keelia. Was it Wisdom?
I don't know.
Come on, man.
I have no idea, man.
Well, the reason why I feel like it's more like Bolt is because it's exactly what happened. Bolt was basically influenced by this evil deity to all of a sudden do its bidding, which I think is what's going to happen because the evil deity is going to look and prey on the part of where you're the weakest, and that's what's going to happen here with Lost World and Ranma, because we still
Kiri.
haven't gotten there.
Kiri.
They can,
They're comparing him to Kiri. That makes sense.
makes
Duh.
no sense.
Yeah, because Kiri was like good in the beginning, and he went evil for really dumb reasons that everyone's like, what? That's really cheesy. And now look at Ranma.
But it's not a dumb reason. I'm sorry, it's not stupid. Because if you think about it, your best friend that you thought you knew for the longest time is making new friends, found his old childhood friend. Your parents are never around. You just feel neglected.
You either die as a Yuga or live to see yourself become a Ranma.
That just happened.
I think we're in a pretty safe spot. You know, there were a couple people freaking out over this, but I don't think it's too scary. Like, there are some big numbers there, sure.
Well, of course, there's always going to be big numbers, but it's kind of like your last hurrah. It's like your deck wasn't working. Now you're trying to just demolish your opponent now. So it makes sense because you're not always going to get into Lost World as much as you think you could be. And you also have to realize you have to have 2 gauge at the end of your opponent's turn. And a lot of decks, well, not with Awakened Gargantua coming out, but a lot of decks don't always have 2 gauge to make sure it goes off. So
You get 2 gauge. You get 2 gauge. What do you think of their new Nullify? The one that's nullify the attack and then gain 2 gauge, 2 life? Good card?
Nullify is that?
I don't know.
There is no Nullify like that, Jacob.
Why?
There's a Nullify that deals 2 damage and gains you 2 life.
Is it?
That's what it is.
Ah.
I was going to tell you that beforehand, but I wanted
What about that one card that it's choose 2 and one of them prevents you from being dealt any damage due to impacts or whatever?
Oh, that's going to be nice. What is it? No, not this card. This is the Dimension Life Stream, which is the gain 10 life or set your opponent's life to 10.
That is probably my other favorite card. It's just so cheesy. Your opponent's, playing Blue Sky Knights or Astros somehow or Link Dragon Order up to like 200 life. You're like, your life is 10 now, friend.
I'm trying to find this other spell. This one? Whatever. I do have a revival card that gives +2 crit to monsters. So that 8 critter.
OTK, baby! Wow,
That's
my voice
what-
just really peaked.
But that
OTK,
spell also is
baby.
free, and that monster's free, so it's a free 10 crit. Free 10 crit. Now I'm really intrigued. Where is that spell or card?
There are a lot of really fun cards, and we could go over literally every card in this deck. Every single one of them. We're not going to, guys, because that would take forever. What are your guys' favorites? Do you think this is healthy for the game? Do you think Buddy Fights Now ruined? Do you think that maybe, just maybe,
Why are you
every
talking so softly?
character is going to receive a Lost World deck? Do you think Lost World's going to be broken? Do you think Lost World is just for salty meta players and that
Are you done? Are you done? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, let us know what you think in chat or if you're watching this afterwards in the comment section down below. I think it's going to be a really interesting and cool thing that's going to be going down. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to how people who don't want to run it just because they're kind of salty about it in a sense, because it kind of defeats the purpose of designing a deck and making it meta, where you can just throw in random meta deck and see how they build their decks from now on, because I think it's going to be an interesting deck building experience.
I think it's going to be really interesting for deck builders. And it's a 30-card deck, so you are a little bit more limited in what you can place in it. But that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I've built decks and got to 30 cards, and I'm like, oh snap, what else am I adding?
It's going to be exciting. I'm excited. They're shaking things up. Like, the first part of Ace has been really good, just the execution-wise, but they haven't really done anything new. Like, drastically new. This is drastically new.
Do you think they're going to introduce a card that counters the activation of a flag?
Oh, no. No, they're not going to do that. But also, one last thing before we do our outro-y stuff. Rest in peace, Plague.
I'll cast it twice.
You'll cast it twice?
I run 2 copies.
Ah!
There was something else I was going to say. It doesn't matter. Make sure to subscribe. Hit the bell to get the notifications. Make sure to like this video. Join our Discord if you want to keep talking about Lost World and you're really intrigued by it or you're salty by it. We want to know. We want to hear your thoughts. Let us know what your favorite cards from Lost World is. What your general build for Lost World will be if you're going to be running it. Follow us on Instagram. Check out our shop. All links will be in the description down below. Jacob, anything else from you?
I just want to say,
Not on you.
thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us in chat. That's cool. I'm ready for live stream number 3.
The death of a card game. Above all else. It's a little bit shorter of a live stream, I'm going to say. But stay classy, y'all.
Thanks for listening to TCG Buzz. New episodes can be found on tcgbuzz.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. For box openings, deck profiles, and more, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.